Hello everybody, my name is Naya and I'm the Black female engineer. I provide content for new and aspiring software engineers, and today we are talking about the Flatiron School application and how to really ace it and make sure that you get admitted into this coding bootcamp. So let's get into it. The first step in the application process was really just filling out that general application. I say application loosely because to me it was more of an interest form where you shared your name and why you're interested, maybe wrote a couple of short answers for why you're interested, and really that was it. It didn't really take more than 30 minutes, if that. So after filling this out, I remember getting immediate access to some pre-work of theirs. Just some very basic things regarding, I believe it was Ruby. That was the main focus at the time. I applied in May of 2020. And so getting just some basic pre-work in and really getting that first look into what a day as a Flatiron School student would look like. Within 24 to 48 hours, though, of filling my application or interest form, I remember receiving a call or an email from somebody in admissions. I call it admissions, maybe there's a different non-technical name, but yes, from admissions, from the administration office, trying to see if you would like to join their programs. And in this conversation, I expressed interest and we set up an interview. This interview occurred about 1 week, I want to say, after submitting that application or after that initial person reached out to me. So 1 week to 10 days after the application itself. And in this, really what they want to see is that you are passionate about this career switch, you're passionate about coding, and also you have done some of the work yourself. They don't want to let people in who have never coded anything before, never typed hello world before, and are saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z for X amount of months. No, they want people who are passionate because this is a hard journey. And truly, the only thing that will get you through it is passion. I mean, that's serious. It is passion and love for what you're doing, and that really being what carries you through that finish line. So they want people who have practiced alone already. And so for me, I had only really done HTML and CSS work, and so I had expressed to them that I started building static sites, just different projects, and started trying to see what maybe family members and friends would want out of a site, whether they have a small business or they have a hobby that they want some type of landing page for. And I shared that, and I shared, this is where I'm supposed to be. I loved coding in this aspect, and I've been also learning on Udemy and Codecademy, and I really am looking for you guys to provide me that robust structure of learning. And they loved it. That's really, really what they want to see. After this, I heard back from them if I was going to get a second interview. I want to say just at most 3 days after that initial interview. And so the second interview was more of a technical interview where you did pair programming with one of their instructors, one of their program leaders, etc. And this was nerve-wracking. Oh my goodness, this was nerve-wracking. And so that is why you had access to pre-work, because they needed you to go through that material, get to a certain point of that material, and then provide the solution that that chapter asked for, provide those solutions to the person on the other side of the screen. And it's rough. It's rough. Not even because, they're, mean or hard or anything. Well, it was kind of, for me, hard, but it was more rough because I have never done this before. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you're watching this video, you've never really done things like this before. And so that's what made it the most difficult. Now, the pre-work was in Ruby, and so did about a week's worth. I believe the next interview had been scheduled for about 10 days after my initial interview. I really wanted to have enough time to go through all of it. I was really devoting everything to it. The administrator was flexible. It was really dependent on how quickly you wanted to go to the boot camp. Do you want to be in the next cohort, or can you wait a month, 2 months, 3 months? And so that really determined your interview schedule and your application cycle schedule. So for the next 10 days, I'm going through that pre-work, going through the questions, to really trying to make these solutions and everything, and preparing for this interview. Now, how did I prepare? One of the things I did to prepare was, after I developed what I saw, as the solution, I looked at my code and tried to determine how I would make it better. I didn't make it better, because then if they ask me, how do I make it better? Well, I already made it better. You should have seen it yesterday. And so I didn't make it better, but I tried to determine how I would make it better, because I had done some research and seen that that is a question they'll often ask. So try to see how I would make it better. And this is so important. And made sure I could talk about what I just created. A lot of times, this sounds so simple, y'all. A lot of times you create something and it just works. And someone asks you, okay, how did you go about doing this? Explain this to me. You have no idea. Sir, I just hit my computer on the side and it worked. I don't know what to tell you. So it's really important for you to really understand why the things work the way they do, and how you would explain this to a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old. There's a saying, if you can't explain it to a first grader, you don't know it well enough. And so really making sure you could truly explain it line by line, and yes, go through that solution with them, and also explain why you chose certain, variables or certain iterations or X, Y, and Z, why you chose the solution or the way about getting to the solution that you did. Now we are at the technical interview, and it was just like I had prepared. It was, go through your code, explain it to me, and how could you make it better. Now, the part that, was rough for me was the pair programming part. The reason they do this is because they want to see that you are teachable, that you understand the jargon when they say X, Y, and Z, that you can easily understand and follow along. Because yes, Coding Bootcamp is there to teach you, but you're going so fast, they need to know you come with something. They need to know you have something there to begin with, because if you don't have certain things, certain qualities, certain skills, you are going to just fall behind so quickly. Within weeks, you'll be just gone. So that's why they do this. They want to make sure that you are ready for this step. If not, then maybe take a few more weeks, months going through all of this and come back to us. But that is why they do that, especially that pair programming part. And so going through that pair programming part, it was really just following along with what the person on the other side of the screen was wanting to see. She would ask, she would ask, let's create this type of enumerable. And I'd need to quickly remember what an enumerable was and then go through all of that. And so being able to semi-quickly follow along, do the things that they ask for, and show that you are good enough to be here, to be in this bootcamp right now. Not in general. I'm not saying that there are people not good enough, but some people, you need more time. If you just applied yesterday and your technical interview is 2 days from now, you're probably not very ready. And so you want to just make sure that you are ready to start this process. And so just going through that, and then closing my laptop and being like, Lord, please. Not gonna lie, y'all, I stumbled on that pair programming part. I truly, and it's probably why I can't even remember it that well, because I just blacked out. I cannot. I was terrified when I hung up and I had to wait to see my fate, because I was like, man, I stumbled there. It was just that thing of not being sure of what she was asking from me and really just being so hesitant and feeling like she expects me to know this and I do not. So it was very, iffy for me. But I received a call later that day from the initial administrator, and they said I was in, that I got a great score, and that they would love to have me in their next cohort. And so overall, that really is that cycle you can expect with Flatiron School. I don't know how it is with other boot camps, so I really can't proclaim anything. I apologize. After getting accepted, that was when I needed to understand how I'm going to pay for this. Oh, y'all, it was $18,000 when I went. Oh my gosh. I needed to figure out how I was going to pay for this, who was going to pay for it, where it was coming from. And so I looked at their many different, well, I say many, it was not many, it was 3. I looked at the 3 different options I had. One was getting a loan, one was paying cash, my part, and one was an income share agreement, which I had been looking at different boot camps at the time, and ultimately I chose Flatiron School because one of the brand name, I know they have a strong brand name, but also because they had the income share agreement. The income share agreement, what it is overall was the school would relieve me of any payment until I got a job. And then when I got a job, I would have to pay about 10% of my income every single month, until 10% of my monthly income every single month until I paid back the $18,000. I also ended up getting a $3,000 scholarship meant to increase accessibility for women and people of color, and so I received that scholarship as well, and so my total got brought down to $15,000. And with the $15,000, I didn't have to pay the $500 deposit fee, which you had to do to secure your spot for the cohort you want to be in. And so after you get accepted, things went pretty quickly because you had to figure out how you're going to pay for it and find out how you're going to put this deposit in. And y'all, I did not have $500. Yo, I did not have $50. I did not have so I was very, very happy when I saw I got the scholarship, and the administrator is the one who told me about that. She sent me the link and I filled it out that day, and by the next day I found out I had received it. And so they have very quick turnaround, and so decided to go for the income share agreement as well. I've heard from some of y'all that they don't offer it anymore. Please let me know in the comments if they don't. That would be tragic if they don't, because to be honest, I wouldn't have been able to go. I truly would not have been able to go if they didn't have the income share agreement. So if someone out there from Flatiron is watching this, please get that back, because it really helps more people get on this career path. But anyway, received that income share agreement, received that scholarship. So now I felt relief, but that was very fleeting, because now I had about 3 weeks to go through the rest of that pre-work material. You still have to go through the pre-work so that you are prepared on day 1, because y'all, you get on day 1, boom, like write X, Y, and Z, code this, like it is quick. And so you have about, I believe it was about 100 hours of pre-work we had to do before our first day. And so for the next 3 to 4 weeks, that was a big focus of mine. But overall, there we go. And then, if this is your first video of mine, then you can go on to my Flatiron School experience video where I talk about my time at Flatiron. But that's what the application process looks like. Please subscribe if you like this video. Please leave a like. And yeah, I hope this was informative. I hope it was informative. But thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.